Hi everybody, Alex Deploy here from Expert Forex, and in today's video I'm going to show you a blind trading technique. And why I call it a blind trading technique is because you don't use stops and you don't use targets. You let the price action determine your targets and your stop on an ongoing basis. So you are literally trading blind. You're putting your faith in the technique to identify sound stops and sound targets on an ongoing basis. And I'm going to explain all that in this video. But what is really nice about this technique, it can be automated. So the trading robot will find the best target and the best stop for your transaction on an ongoing basis. As the transaction progresses and progresses, it will change the target and change the stop. Sounds good, hey? Now, the biggest problem with trading are your emotions. Your emotions cause you to get out of deals too early and also to get out of deals too late. So you want to eliminate emotions. So you also want to exit deals negatively or positively on an objective basis. So what is the solution? The solution is the blind trader that trades blind. It doesn't know where the target is or the stop is from time to time. So because the blind trader is in charge, your emotions are taken out of the equation. It will continuously create optimum positive exit levels and will continuously create optimum negative exit level. And because you're not trading with stops and targets, your broker doesn't know where your stops or targets are, because you literally don't have any, because the blind trader is controlling all of that. So let's have a look at some more details about the blind trader. It uses price action, the current price action, to update stops and targets on a continuous basis. So it's dynamic. It's an expert advisor, and it's a trade management tool. In other words, once the transaction is entered, you can hand your transaction over to the blind trader, and the blind trader will squeeze the best result out of your transaction. It's extremely easy to use because there's only two inputs. And it doesn't repaint or anything like that, because it uses the close of the candle to make its decisions. And because of that, you can sleep through the deal. You don't have to watch the charts at all. So the advantages of using the blind trader is it keeps you in the deal longer. It also gets you out of the deals faster. It reduces the emotional stress of managing an ongoing transaction, because it takes full control of that aspect of the deal. And it has built-in dynamic decision making. In other words, it adjusts the stop and the target on an ongoing basis. Okay, so let me start showing you how this blind trader works. And it's based on what I call the magic moving average. And on your screen you can see a course that's on Udemy. Over 6,000 clients have done this course, and it has a really good rating of 4.4. So let's have a look. What is this magical moving average that I'm talking about? So here's a typical chart. This is the chart of the pound New Zealand. It's a fairly volatile chart, so it has long trends, and that is why I like using it for this particular type of trading. So here's the chart, and how can we now create a trading system on this chart? And I'm going to show you how the magic moving average works. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is slap on a moving average. Now notice moving averages are trending indicators. So I slap on the moving average. I like using a moving average of 4, and we slap it on. Okay, so there it is on the chart, but you'll see that it is pretty useless as a border between the buyers and the sellers, or the bulls and the bears, or the buying zones and the selling zone. It doesn't really play a role. As you can see, it almost goes through every candle that there is. Pretty useless. Now I'm going to show you the magic part of this moving average. So to turn this into a magic moving average, I have to just change the settings of the moving average. So currently it has a setting of 4. I'm going to leave that, and I am going to just shift it by 4. And in it goes. Now suddenly this useless moving average has become a barrier between the buy zones and the sell zones. And let me show you how that works. Anything above the moving average is in the buy zone. Anything below the moving average is in a sell zone. So it separates the buy and the sell zones beautifully. Just look at that sell zone, that buy zone, that sell zone, that buy zone, short one, and then there's a buy zone, and then there's a sell zone. So it separates the zones beautifully. And because it does that, when the zones change from a buy zone to a sell zone, or from a sell zone to a buy zone, that automatically creates an entry opportunity. So for instance, here where my cursor is, when the price goes over the magic moving average and it closes at the top of the moving average, it's telling me I'm going into a buy zone. And then all you have to do is stick in this trade for all the time and then wait for it to go into the sell zone. And when it goes into the sell zone, there are two things that you can do. You can close your buy trade and you can open a sell trade, and down it goes and captures that trend. So it's a great trend capturer, and that is why MT4 classifies the moving average as a trending indicator. Now the rule is, when using this indicator, is the price has to close on the other side of the moving average for it to be a valid signal. So if you look at this sell phase that was there, you can see the price actually went over the moving average a couple of times, but it didn't close on the other side. It came straight back, and that is why those are not buy signals. When it goes over, it has to close on the other side of the signal, or of the moving average. So it's very simple. The 4 by 4, in other words, 4 moving average offset by 4 or shifted by 4 is the moving average, and you just buy when it's above and sell when it's below the moving average. Now at the same time, this magic moving average creates a fantastic stop level, because if you're in a buy situation, like you're in there and you're in a buy, the minute the price closes across the moving average, below the moving average, it is saying to me, I'm going into a sell mode, and that is where the stop is. So the magic moving average creates a stop level for you, and the crossover from a buy phase to a sell phase creates the target for you. So the magic moving average creates a stop way of managing the stop of the transaction, as well as the target. And none of that is recorded, because the moving average is just there, and when the candle closes, all the moving average says is, am I above or below the moving average? Have I moved from a buy phase to a sell phase? If that's happened, it closes the previous deal. Now you can make a lot of money if you choose the right currency, like this particular one. It's a high volatility currency, and you trade it. The problem is that it's a very psychological trading technique. It is emotional. You will not let yourself stick to the rules of the system, because the candles are big. They really do go big, and they come down and they go up and down. And if you look at the chart, your emotions will go up and down. And, oh, must I get out? Must I get out? Oh, I'm going to lose all my gains. That kind of thought process will go through. So, for instance, if you entered here, you entered a buy there, and up you went, and then suddenly, oh, there's a negative candle, your emotional side will say, oh, get out. But it's not over. It hasn't crossed the moving average yet. Then it will go up. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, then it will go down again. And can you see how your emotions will just go up and down if you watch the screen? So what we've done, and this is what the blind trader is. It is a manual trading tool that once you've entered a trade, and you don't need to use the crossover of the moving average, you can use any particular way of entering the trade, and you suspect that there's going to be a nice long trend. All you do is you activate the blind trader, and once you've activated it, you walk away. You go and sleep, you go and do other things, because the blind trader will manage your transaction from then on. It will just keep you in the deal, and let's say this is the deal. It keeps you in the deal even when it's going crazy like over there. It just sticks to the rules of the system, and it will keep you in all the way up there, and then take you out when the price crosses the moving average. It will not enter the next deal. It will wait for you to say, must I, you have to make that decision. The entry part is the trader's responsibility. The management of the trade is the blind trader's responsibility. Now, if you look at this particular trend here, let's take a few of the trends and just measure them. There's a 122 pip trend. There's a 370 pip trend. The current transaction is in a 155 pip trend. A lot of people, when they've made 100 pips, will say, oh, I've made enough, I'm going to get out of this deal. Using the blind trader, it will keep you in the deal, and there's no telling where this trend is going. But because you're trusting the blind trader, you know that it'll squeeze the best results out for you. Not always, but in most cases, the best result. And just look at this trend here, really fantastic trend, 230 pips and so on. So the blind trader can really give you those advantages of being not emotional, of exiting at not the most optimum, but an optimum price. It protects you because let's say these transactions reverse, you will get stopped out, and you'll be stopped out at an optimum level. You don't have to have these huge big stops anymore. You don't have to try and find the target for your transactions, because the blind trader does that for you. Okay, so what does the blind trader look like? And here on your screen you can see the input fields for the blind trader. All you have to do is you have to tell it which transaction to manage, and you can do that by ticket number or by magic number, and you can even use a group of transactions. So firstly, identify the transactions it has to manage, and then here are the moving average settings that you would provide and instruct it to use for closing deals when the price crosses over the moving average. So in general, I would use 4 as my period. Simple is fine, close price is fine, and I would shift by 4. And that's how simple this robot is. I personally would not use the break even stop and the trailing stop, because that defeats the whole object of the moving average crossover. So there's two opportunities here. Firstly, the blind trader can be used by manual traders to do moving average crossover exits. Now those exits could be negative or they could be positives, but at least the manual trader does not have to watch the charts on an ongoing basis. And then we do still have the magical moving average robot that actually trades this on a set and forget basis. You just set it up and it will run for months, trading when the price is in a sell phase. It will just sell. If it's in a buy phase, it will buy, and that's the way it will trade. Now you'll be pleased to know that the blind trader is free. Members of our premium forum that have a current subscription can go and download this EA from the premium indicator section. So it's exclusive. The only way you can get it is by being a member of our premium forum. But if you are not one of those members, membership is only $24 a month, and you can go and join using this particular link, and there you are, become a premium member for $24 a month. Now, besides these premium indicators, there are 15 other benefits to being a member of this forum, and I won't go through them all. You can stop your video and just read through all the benefits that the members of this forum receive. So the process is very simple. You enter a deal, and you then activate the blind trader, and it will manage the deal, keep you in the deal while the price is in a buy phase, and take you out of the deal when the buy goes into a sell phase, and vice versa. Totally automated, emotion-free trading, and it is a beautiful tool to use. Now, I hope you found this video interesting and gave you an idea of the techniques that are available to you to make lots of money trading these markets. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.